So make sure you mute us now, because I don't want them hearing about what we're talking about.
Oh, so do I end it? No, I don't end it, right?
That'll mute it, yep.
Right, no, you can hear.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so it's 6 o'clock, so we're gonna call this meeting to order. And I must stand to lead us in the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would just like to say, Christy's in DC for work, so we're excusing her today. And, okay. Sounds great. So, is there any conflict of interest? Dan?
Dan, come we done?
No.
None for me? We can proceed, right? This will be the time where we'll take public comments. So you have 2 minutes, and then we're not allowed to address you because that's your time to speak to us. And then at the end, when we have council comments, we can respond. So if anybody would like to come, just come to the podium and state your name. Okay, nobody? All right, very good. Next is the consent agenda. Has everyone had a chance to look over the meeting minutes, invoices, and the financial reports?
I believe we just had the council meeting minutes and they look good to me. So I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any discussion? Motion passes. All right, well, Austin, we're already to you.
Okay.
So, we have a presentation about safety and speeding from Austin Benyon. I just want to thank you for your time. I know it's probably taken a lot of energy and research for you to come here, and so we like when the citizens come and give us information. So,
Okay.
floor is yours.
Okay,
Come on.
go here.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so I want to be brief, but I had kind of been in conversation with Christy about speeding, and this is not new. I've come before and talked about this or spoke about this, and for a while I spoke with you, Michelle, for the brief minute that I'm drawing a blank on his name, who moved away on council. I spoke with him on it. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I kind of just, I think speeding has become a problem, not just in Uintah, everywhere. It seems that way anyway. I don't know if we just have more social media now, and so we're seeing more of it. I'm sure it's always been a problem everywhere, but I think that it's important, part of city planning to evolve to the needs of a city. I know we love having Uintah be small. It's the reason I moved down here, so I'm all on board with that. But we have to understand that cities grow, and we have an older generation that's either passing on or moving out of Uintah, and it seems like we have a lot more families that are moving into Uintah. And those families are bringing children, and it's our job as parents to supervise our children, but they are children, and they don't understand safety. And I think it's the responsibility of the cities to kind of adapt and keep our citizens as a whole safe. I love the summer times in Uintah. I mean, I can look down at 8 o'clock and I see 3 people down 6550 walking dogs. I see people at 5 o'clock when they're home from work riding bikes, and I couldn't dream of a better neighborhood to be a part of, but I do think that there's a problem on 6550. I thought that, for years now. I think 6550 is unique. I know that 6600 sees a lot of speed too. I know that's been an issue. And I think it's smart for everybody to kind of, take care of their individual little communities within Uintah. And 6550 is the street I live on. So I've talked to several people on this. I have been directed to previous House of Representative members. I've spoken to UDOT on this. I have spoken to Jim Hardy, our county commissioner, on ideas. It seems that the best, I even actually spoke with the mayor of Washington Terrace on this as well. And it seems like the consensus was that the best thing to do is a speed limit sign. We've had the trailer put on our street multiple times. It works. At least that's my personal opinion. I do think that it works. I think people follow it. And 6550 is unique. It is kind of a pass-through street. We've got businesses on that street, and again, we love that, right? I mean, my family loves the nursery. We go down there all the time, and Dan and Morley is, I mean, the best people. They've tractored up rocks to my house, and I couldn't, again, it's wonderful having a small community with a nursery right there, like, right? We all love peach trees and apple trees and all that, and I plan to do one every year. So I love having the businesses, and that has nothing to do with anything. It's the reminder for people going to those businesses or our neighbors that, hey, this is a problem, and speed is not okay, and we need to control that. 6550 is unique because it's a long stretch of road that's a downhill, at least for westbound traffic, and that makes it unique in my eyes. I am really open. Jim Harvey recommended that I do a petition, and I have copies for that, whoever wants one. I spent a few Saturdays in the fall knocking as many doors as I could. It's hard to find time to do this, but I was able to fill 3 pages full of neighbors on 6550 and surrounding streets, as many people as were home that I could, over a few Saturdays that I could do. I can kind of give you a summary. Not a single person didn't sign this petition. Everybody felt like it was an overdue problem. I've talked to some neighbors, and I won't mention names, who have been on the street for 30 years, and 30 years ago were throwing rocks at cars because they sped. I do not condone that. I'm just saying that they told me that was a problem 30 years ago, and I've only lived here 8 years, so I can only speak to it that. But I do have 4 small children, and I do my best to corral them, but I want to keep them as safe as possible. I know a lot of the young families that have moved out have advertised that as well. I've heard the numbers on speed signs. I want the city to thrive. I don't want to be a burden financially on the city. Anyway, in short, I don't think anybody really cares how we control speed. I know the police department is tapped. I get it. They're short-staffed. I know they are. I've talked to Sheriff Arbon in the past on this, and he just said we don't have the resources, and I understand that. I think that's kind of a reason the city needs to take charge on this. In reality, I don't see in the near future, I don't see the police department getting this massive abundance of new police officers that are going to be able to come and control speed, on a regular basis on the road. And I don't even know if I want that, right? I get there's a balance there. So I think that the trailer has worked. I can only speak on that because it's kind of all we've done in the past. Christy was very nice enough to have that put there for like 3 months this fall. It was amazing. I mean, I've talked to other members of our city who mentioned that it's scary having their kids go get mail from the mailbox. I don't think that's okay. I think that that's kind of sad that, and I do agree with that. I would have concerns of having my child run out to the mailbox, get mail, and come back, just because I'm like, what's going to happen, right? And so I would go with them. But I don't want this to be a financial burden on the city. I know that costs have gone up everywhere. I get that. As I previously mentioned, I don't think, I think that this is a good solution. If finances are truly a concern on this, I do think that a very reasonable option would be making the 2 intersections on 6550 3-way stops or a 4-way stop down here. I mentioned that to a lot of people, and again, everyone's like, we don't really care. It would just be nice to have speed under control. I get that a stop sign kind of helps the flow of traffic and all that, but in reality, that has been done all over to control speed. And we have 2 perfectly placed intersections that would work. You'll get people that'll roll through those. I get it, but slowing down is the whole goal on that, and hopefully people would follow those rules. But financially, I just don't think we have enough of an excuse there, right? If finances are truly a problem, I could probably find some stop signs for free. I even told Christy I am more than happy to help as much as the city will let me on this. I offered to put these signs in the ground. I will do the labor. I will dig the holes. I will buy the cement. I will bury the signs. So I want to help as much as possible on this. I can't emphasize enough the problem that this is, and it's a problem that's not going away. And truly invite anybody who kind of maybe thinks this, hey, isn't a problem. Open invitation, anytime from April to August, come to my house on any given Saturday. You can pick, I will buy drinks, I will buy lunch. You can sit there and we will watch and you can decide for yourself if it's a problem. I can tell you it is, but I get it. Some people don't have this problem. They live in a cul-de-sac, they live on a quiet road, a short road. It is a problem on 6550 though. And it's not gonna get better, and I just think we need a permanent solution. So I'm really just here. Christy asked me to come do this, and I'm more than happy to do this. I'm very passionate about it. I would love to see that safety increase. I know that everybody agrees the last thing we want is to see someone get hurt. I mean, even if that's a pet, because speeding was a problem, right? But heaven forbid a person gets hurt, or heaven forbid killed because we didn't address this problem. And that would look really bad after the fact that it was finances that let us do that, right? I told Christy, I said, maybe don't tell anybody this, but I was very much in favor for the tax increase. Again, I don't want to bring up a separate issue, but I was okay with that because I told Christy, this gives us these opportunities to make changes that are needed in the city, right? And I do agree that you all should be paid for your time. But it's hard when those tax increases happen and you're still kind of told, oh, well, we still don't have enough. And I get it. I know that money has to go everywhere, and I understand all that. But I think we've got enough options that if finances are a concern here, we could maybe put money toward a cheaper option like stop signs. But I do think we need to do something. It's a problem that's not going to go away. And so. I'm more than happy to help and would love feedback on that. But that's, I think, years-long problem. I just think we need to get on the ball and get this done. And so that's kind of it that I have. I don't know if I made copies of this. I don't know if y'all want those. Okay. I don't know how many I made, but maybe you guys can share. Yeah, there's 3 there. I should have made more. I have the original too.
That's all one copy right there.
Yeah, there's three pages.
Okay.
Oh yeah, sorry. Maybe I did give. Shoot, maybe I messed that up. Sorry. Oh, maybe not. Did I give you? I got 3 different. So I'm missing the front page of one of them.
That's right.
Oh, that's okay. Okay, but I didn't know that. There you go. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, any feedback would be great. And again, I'd love to work with the city on this. But I would like to get something done sooner than later. It just kind of seems like an overdue problem, and I think safety is important. So, okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Austin. I imagine that you already know this, but it will be back on the agenda on the 17th.
Yes.
And I think that Lieutenant is gonna give us his information that he's gathered as well that day, and we'll have a discussion.
Okay.
And that will be on the.
Yeah, I'm out of town that day, and I think that's why Christy wanted me to come today, which I'm not happy. I know that I can't change that now. So anyway, I'll keep in touch too. So.
Well, we have live now.
Oh, that actually will work. Okay, I'll tap in. Okay. I should have internet where I'll be, so that should work.
Okay, perfect. We appreciate your information and your passion about this, for sure. Anything else? Okay.
I don't have anything.
We didn't have any public comments, so is there any council comments?
The only thing in my department was Brandy was looking at getting a new sign for the reserving of the park, one that would be easier to hang and not so cumbersome for the staff to put out when the park being reserved, but that's something I had.
In true fashion, I talked to Jack about our Easter signs are pretty haggard for the age groups in the park, and so he generously said, hey, I have some wood and I can make some boards, and we're talking with the yeoman of the first ward about painting those, so we should be on board to have new signs for Easter account this year. That's all I have for me. Okay, then I will take a motion.
I motion that we adjourn.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Just like that, and then just end.
Think so.
Do we know if anyone is on?